Hey too. I am back to do this will be what is that called? A controversial parenting tag, I guess. And I decided to do this because I done seen different tags on this topic. So I just wanted to go through it. So here are a few questions that I'm going to share my opinion, my opinion to them. Okay, so the first question is co-sleeping. Um, how I feel about co-sleeping is um, that's something that I really don't even talk about because my son is he'll be 6, and even with him having his own room and his own bed, I mean he slept in it, but I think it was just me. I found it hard to actually, especially being that I moved from one state to another state, and not really knowing the area. I got used to it eventually, but I found it hard. Him sleeping in his room by himself. So I guess you got to teach him independence. And he's 5, so that's not a problem. But for me, it was hard to not have him sleep with me. Even my daughter, it was hard for them not to sleep with me because, in my mind, I was just thinking things. But co-sleeping, if you like it, I love it. I feel that as far as when it's your first child, it's easier, but I feel like the more kids you have, you need to try to break off that pattern with each kid because you don't want to have 4 kids and all 4 of them are sleeping in your bed. However, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. My daughter sleeps with me now. She had her own bed, is no longer in existence. So yeah, she sleeps with me now, and I don't find a problem with it. But at the same time, she's about to be 3, so she went from having her own room to wanting to be in my bed all the time. So that's something that we have to work on because I'm gonna need her out my bed. So that's the first question I want to go ahead and cover. Um, as far as spanking versus not spanking, um, I don't call it spanking. I call it either I'm going to give you a you know what whooping, or either you're not going to get one. How I feel about that is yes, I do feel like kids, you know, you need to spank them. However you want to put it. The reason I feel that is because some people want to put their kids in timeout, and some people want to, put their kids in timeout. It's okay for punishment. Punishment is okay, but at the same time, sometimes you need to put your foot up your kid's ass. Simple as that. Like my son, like I said, he's about to be 6, and I'm gonna say for about the first 3 years, it was barely me telling him to stop. I would tell him to stop, but it was me giving him chance after chance after chance. And then once Kayla came along, he was good with Kayla. I'm not gonna make it seem like he wasn't good, but he started showing out a lot more. So he started making it hard for me to be his mom, honestly. And basically to that, he started getting dealt with. Like I don't tolerate a disrespectful kid, and I feel like the first time that they do something and you let them get away with it, then they're only going to try it again, and they're going to keep trying and then trying until you show them. Now, Kasim 4 to 5, that's when I actually started like getting into him. First, I used to talk to him, and I used to be very firm with him, and that would stick sometimes. But my son. Let me stand up real quick. I'm gonna try to stand up. I'm not even gonna stand up. I'm gonna do it with my hand because I doubt that you'll be able to see my full body once I stand up. But this is me. I'm 5'2". My son is 4'2". I'm 5. Yeah, I'm not 5'2". I'm 5'3". My son is 4 feet. 4 inches and 2 feet. 4 feet and 2 inches. So, and he's only 5. So, some people might be against spanking, but I'm going to whoop your ass. Excuse my language, you two, but I'm going to do that because my son, by the time he gets 10, you don't know where he's going to be, and I refuse to have a child think he's gonna walk all over me. That's my son. Kayla, she's getting into that age. She's almost 3. She's getting into the age where she gets popped a lot. But it took me some time to even pop her or even try to discipline her. Like I used to do timeout a lot with her. But now she understands a lot more now, so she does get popped. Formula versus breastfeeding. I'm not gonna knock formula. I'm not gonna knock breastfeeding. With each one of my kids, I did breastfeed. I did not breastfeed for a year, but however, I did breastfeed for the first couple months. So I didn't do it because I wanted to pop back. I did it more so because of the things that I hear. Less cold. Like, I did it because of that. If that helps with that, then I'm all for breastfeeding. But if you got a formula feed, then formula feed is just more costly. When kids get off the bottle of pacifier. Okay, my son, his dad was more so the you're gonna have a pacifier, you're gonna have a pacifier, you're gonna have a pacifier. He wanted that baby down baby. So my son had the pacifier, but he did not like it. He got off of that at 7 months because he was teething, and he also got off the bottle at 7 months. He started drinking out of a cup. My daughter did not stop. She stopped the pacifier and the bottle at the same time, probably a week or two after each other. I used to keep putting pacifiers on her because that was how she would sleep. And then finally I was like, you know what? It's time you got to learn how to just, do this without the pacifier. So when she was 10 months, she got off the pacifier and the bottle. Okay, now the holidays, how the holidays are celebrated, and the shows and movies that children at different ages are permitted to watch. Okay, so I'm going to answer the first part of that question first. On the holidays, I believe in family, whether it just be me and my 2 kids for now, or whether it be me, my kids, and my my mom, my dad, my sister, whether it be that. Now I'm all the way out here in Arizona now. My family is all in Philly, and our holidays were always together. Like, we never did nothing apart. So being that I moved out here this year, this was actually the first year that my family was not together, and that's what I heard from my family back in Philly. Now, as far as the shows, my son, how can I put this? Because I kind of followed the same thing with Kasim and Kayla. Up until maybe a year ago, my son only could watch Nick Jr. And now I let him watch. He watches Nick. Nothing's wrong with Nick, but mostly Nick Jr. because he was in school since he was 3. But I feel like if you're going to come and sit in front of a TV, at least watch something that can teach you things. That was just how I felt. So they were not allowed. Just like now, I don't allow that Family Guy. I barely allow Cartoon Network because I just I feel like Cartoon Network is for like kids that are like 10 plus or maybe even older than that, depending on your preference. But certain shows on TV I don't even allow. Just like this year, my son actually I'm gonna say about this year and last year, I just started letting my son watch SpongeBob. But yeah, Kayla, she likes SpongeBob, so she watches it. But for the most part, it's not like we're gonna sit and I'm gonna let them watch that show all day. Even though I like SpongeBob, they can't watch it all the time. And excuse me for getting out of breath. I'm gonna blame it on pregnancy. So kids and cell phones. I believe that if you can afford a phone for your kid, then why not? They don't have to have the nicest phone, but at the same time, you don't know when a time may come that they really need to get to a phone to call you. And I feel like as long as you have your number programmed and whoever else number programmed in the phone, then I feel like you should allow them to have a phone. Kids and computer use. Both my kids know how to use the computer. Both my kids like using the computer. However, I'm more like this. You come home, do your homework, go outside, do something else, and then if you want to spend, because when before my son actually went back to Philly, I got off of work. I used to get home about 7:30, and he's on the computer. He would be on the computer from the time he get out of school or the time he get home from school until the time I got home. And he would get home about 4 o'clock, and I don't get home to 7:30. And that time period, he's on a computer. I don't approve of that. No. Now, if he wants to get on a computer maybe an hour every other day, that's fine. But to be on every day excessively, no. Daycare versus stay-at-home parenting. I'm a stay-at-home parenting. I don't trust people, and that's probably bad. But I don't trust people, and I feel like nobody can care for your child like you can. So I'm all for staying home. Homeschooling or traditional. I believe that traditional schooling, whether it be public or charter, I don't really do too much in the private school or Catholic school, and the reason why is because I don't. That's just my opinion. But as far as being in traditional school, and I believe that they have more social skills. They're able to adapt to reality opposed to being homeschooled. They're sheltered. That's just my opinion. Vaccination or not or no vaccination. If they could survive without getting them, then I'm all for not getting them. But I'm not going to be a parent that the health department is going to come knocking on my door sending letters. I'm just not going to do that. And in today's day and age, you have to be vaccinated to even go to school, for things. So if I had it my way, no, because I believe that a lot of vaccinations cause a lot of the things that are going on in our bodies, regardless if you want to eat the most healthiest foods or not. Okay, circumcision or no circumcision, I'm for circumcision. Period. I don't want to put people business out there, but it was kind of a back and forth with my son. Was he going to get circumcised? And I refused. It just wasn't going to happen because to me, I call them little anteaters. I believe that's what it was. Yeah, little anteaters, and that's what they look like to me. And I wasn't going to let my son walk around like that. I'm sorry. That's not cute. Abortion versus pro-life. I'm going to not even hit on that because I feel like either you're going to get an abortion or you're either going to not get an abortion. Me personally, I always try to talk people out of getting an abortion. I find myself doing that too much. You can't really change someone's mind, but at the same time, if you keep getting pregnant, then maybe abortion shouldn't be the route you go with. You need to find something else, because you don't need to every time you get pregnant think that you're going to go and spend money on an abortion, especially if you already have kids. Santa versus no Santa. Again, if I was not raised thinking it was a Santa Claus, then I would try to not raise my kids like that. But it's all for fun. But me personally, I don't believe in Santa Claus. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny. I don't believe in, all them things does not really, they don't really, symbolize the holiday, the meaning of the holiday. So when it comes to Christmas, yeah, we can love Santa Claus, but we want to know about what Christmas means. And when it comes to the Easter Bunny, you can enjoy Easter, but at the same time, you want to know what Good Friday means, and you want to know what Resurrection Sunday means. That's just me. I want to teach my kids that it's more than just the what do they call them? It's more than just that behind the meaning. I don't even understand these false figures, but whatever. ADHD debate, real or not. It can be real if you want it to be real. I mean, some people like for it to be real because they can receive a check off it. But like I say, go back to the spanking versus non-spanking. Maybe they just need to feel, the back of your hand, or maybe the front. I don't know, your palm. Natural childbirth versus pain med use. My son, I got a shot of morphine, and I think I was too late for the epidural because I didn't get it, and I felt I had an episiotomy, and he also broke my butt bone. So from the butt bone being broke to the episiotomy, I was all jacked up. So it hurted, but I feel like after all that, once you see your child, that's all behind you. Now, he was 7 pounds 11 ounces. My daughter, I wanted to be drugged up, and she was only 5'13". Now with this baby, I'm planning on doing natural, but who knows? You really never know until you actually get there. Cloth versus disposable, disposable. I'm not going to get into that one. Secondhand versus non-secondhand items. As you've seen, if you went to any of my previous hauls, or if you checked out any of my haul videos for my baby, I don't mind going to the Goodwill, don't mind going to the thrift store, don't mind sharing clothes. Like, I don't mind doing things like that. And the reason why is because I'm not one of these materialistic people out here. My life does not revolve around a name brand, nor do my life revolve around if my if they got the same shirt on, but one came from the Goodwill and one came from, this store or that store. No. I don't mind secondhand clothes. I got them for my first. I was not picky with him. Got them for my daughter. And this one, I don't have secondhand clothes given to me, but I had went to the Goodwill. I secondhand for myself. Go to the thrift store for myself. So I don't mind doing that for my baby. Now, adoption issues. Like I said, if you go back to any of my previous videos, that was kind of a topic that I was kind of stuck on, because in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was unsure whether I wanted to do adoption or whether I wanted to parent my baby. And when it all was said and done, I left it in God's hands, and this is where I'm at now, and I'm parenting my son. So basically, that's all the questions that that were being asked for this controversial parenting tag, or whatever you want to call it. Check it out, comment, rate, subscribe. Feel free to give me your opinion or your advice or whatever the case may be on anything that I talked about today. And I will see you guys next week for my 32-week update. I'm so excited about that. Thanks for watching this video, YouTube.